And welcome to Education, Leadership, and Beyond, Surviving and Thriving. My name is Andrew Marotta, host of the show, and this is the storytelling version. This is going to be a shorter podcast, just a few minutes, 10, 15 minutes in here, where I share a story, where I share power of storytelling. And this is going to be in addition to the normal podcast. Normally I have guests on, right? And that's happening in the middle of the week. And I'm going to try to fit these in on the weekend. Doing this the last 4 or 5 years with all the work that I'm involved in, I've fallen in love with storytelling, and I wanted to start these little mini sessions with you. So I'm working on the name. I have the Power of Stories here today, and but I think we're going to call something like that. I got to work that out. I'll take your suggestions if you're watching live and you want to offer a suggestion of what you think the title should be. Jump right in here. But they're going to be little shorter podcasts here on the power of storytelling. So let's get started. A couple little of announcements. I am doing some more coaching classes for school leaders. That is starting in April. The flyer is on my website, andrewmarotta.com. You can check that out. And I'm also doing a free book writing workshop. That's right, free. You do have to register at andrewmarotta.com. That registration is not open yet, but the flyer is on there. So check that out. But that's going to be on Saturday, May 1st. So many educators, so many people have kind of said, like, well, how'd you do it? How did you get going with it? So I'd like to do that to try to help some people if they are interested in writing a book, if they have an idea about a book and they don't know where to get started. So that'll be on May 1st. So a couple of just little commercials there for that. So let's get started. Today's story, our opening story on these shorter podcasts, is the power of a single experience. Okay. And you know, again, I love sharing the stories of how these happened. And this is the story of how it happened. So, and we as educators, we as leaders, we as parents, right, we have the ability to touch the hearts and lives of those that we serve. So here's a story that goes with it. So many years ago, a friend of mine introduced me to Dr. Rob Gilbert. If you've known me, if you've listened to me, if you've read my book, you've heard me talk about Dr. Rob Gilbert. And if you're watching this, I'm going to get the number right here. You think I would know it. But usually just press the button. But Success Hotline, 973-743-4690. Again, write it down, 973-743-4690. A friend of mine introduces me to Dr. Rob. That is the Success Hotline. Dr. Rob has been leaving a 3-minute message about success since 1992. He's up to 10,000, almost 900, incredibly. And I love it. I call every day, get some wisdom from Dr. Rob, and you could leave a 1-minute message there. So I got in touch with Dr. Rob. We became fast friends, talking, connecting, and he invited me to come to his class at Montclair State University. Dr. Rob is a sports psychologist at Montclair State University, and he invited me down. I spoke about leadership. I spoke about being a principal. I spoke about being a Division I referee. I had a presentation planned, and it went just great. These were teachers that were getting their master's degree in education, and it was fantastic. I connected with the audience. I connected with Dr. Rob. And as I'm leaving, Dr. Rob says, Andrew, you were phenomenal. Here, take these. And he hands me 10 books, 10. And 2 of them were his. Hey, Dr. Fitzgerald. Hey, Peggy Fitzgerald. He hands me 10 books. And he said 2 of them were his. And he says, Andrew, where's your book? You need to write a book. And I said, what? I can't write a book, Doc. I'm a young father. I'm a high school principal. I'm a Division I referee. Like, I don't have time to go to the bathroom, Doc. Like, what are you talking about? He said, Andrew, you got to write a book. You were phenomenal. You're an excellent principal. You should do it. I said, I don't have time. He said, you don't need time. He said, just write down the things that you do as a principal. Just write them down. Got thinking a little bit. Sounds pretty simple, right? Just write them down. Well, for those that know me, I got ADD, and I didn't write them down right away, and I didn't text on the way home, but I did do talk to text. And on the way home from Montclair State University to Milford, Pennsylvania, it's about an hour, I had 70 of those tips. The next day at school, I had 30 more. And in less than 24 hours, I had about 100 tips that then went into the book, right? And I tell this story, and the theme is the power of a single experience. Dr. Rob saw something in me. He pushed me. He made me think about it. He made me believe that I could do it. And then I did it, and off we went, and it became great. And the book, came great. I feel blessed that Routledge, this is the second edition. The light is a little bad here today. Routledge, Eye on Education. This is the second edition of the book, re-released. So here it is. I'm grateful to Routledge for that relationship. But the point of the story, again, the power of a single experience. So whether you're a school leader, a teacher, a parent, your line of work, notice something in somebody, and you might be the one that brings it out to them. You might say, hey, you were pretty good at that. Have you thought about, I think you could be really good. I thought that, share something positive that you're seeing in them and maybe plant that seed. Dr. Rob did it to me, and I'm grateful. And I've been able to help a lot of principals now over the years where I was never doing that kind of stuff before, but all of this kind of came from that. So that's my story for today. There's a lot of power in stories, and I got a lot that I want to tell. So we're going to try to do this once a week. I'll get some. Yeah, Peggy, you sure, Peg? You know where we're at. But I'm going to try to do this once a week and share a story, motivational story, inspirational story, things like that. I've fallen in love with storytellers, telling again through calling the Success Hotline and my mentorship with Dr. Rob. So it's something that I want to do. I think it's something that's important as a school leader, that instead of just talking about the information, you get a relatable story for people. So we're going to talk about TED Talks. We're going to talk about all those things. So that is all for today. I hope you enjoyed that story. And again, the challenge to you is go out and touch the heart and life of somebody around you just by the power of a single experience, just by your interaction. Okay, those commercials again, those coaching sessions are starting in April. It's on my website. Check it out. And the book writing workshop, free, is going to be on May 1st, 10 a.m. in the morning here on the East Coast. I'd love for you to join me, and that registration will be opening soon. Okay, so I'm going to sign off here on Education, Leadership, and Beyond. Peggy Fitzgerald, thank you so much for tuning in. And if you're watching live, thank you so much. This will be going out on social media very soon. Thanks, everybody. Let me get this music going again. I'm on Twitter at Andrew Marotta 21. If I could help you in any way, don't hesitate to reach out. Get this music queued up. Thanks, everybody.